So, can you hear me? I was just checking my audio.
We hear you.
All right, great.
What a way to start a show.
I was suspect for a second. I was I had a rough. I came down here. I went to go log in, and like my internet in the basement just dropped, and was like, "Yeah, we're not working today. We're not doing a damn thing."
I didn't know we were rocking robes.
No. This isn't a robe. This is a sweater.
Oh,
It's a little Japanese bling. This isn't
nice.
this isn't like a. I like the one that says some pulp type robe. This is like I'm a classic Japanese gentleman.
That's a male kimono.
No, males wear kimonos too, and he don't look like this.
Yeah, if you're Dr. Bob Kelso, but
Dr. Bob, who the fuck is that?
Wow, I'm shocked right now.
Dr. Bob Kelso?
Yeah,
no idea who that is.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him.
I don't care to know. The only Kelso I know is from that 70s show.
Really?
Wow.
What has two thumbs and is totally oblivious?
Don't tell him.
Shit.
How does this guy? You know that. What a horrible person you are to not understand the reference.
Don't tell him. Let him think about it.
Oh shit! Fucking Kelso, Dr. Kelso. I forgot his name is Bob. I forgot his name is Bob because nobody calls him Bob. They call him Bobo.
Yeah, well, they take his RV to go visit JD's knocked up side piece or whatever, baby mama.
Not his side piece, his girlfriend at the time.
I'll be right back.
Well, it was the woman that fucking broke his heart, and then I don't know. Elizabeth Banks is still.
I didn't think. You know what? That just didn't fucking register for some reason.
Which is weird. Man had a closet full of kimonos in his RV.
I was watching Scrubs like the other night, just right over.
John C. McGinley would be upset at you. Like,
yeah,
this guy's
I
not
apologize, gentlemen. That's you know what? I apologize.
Disappointed.
Today was my first day back in the office, and I've been up since 3:30. It's rough.
How's the adjustment to the? How long have you been back for you?
Saturday afternoon.
Oh, so you should be back into Eastern.
Don't tell me what I should be, sir. Okay, I can tell you a lot of things what you should be. All right.
Look, we got a comment. I think that's in reference to you not know who Dr. Bob Kelso is.
Matt.
Either that or he's just getting a Ric Flair and woo!
No,
well,
Ric Flair sexually assaults women with his
boys
penis.
Are back, Matt. Thank you for joining us, Matt. Miss you, buddy.
Matty boy.
Matt, I've been meaning to talk to you about some wrestling stuff.
Quite some stuff going down.
We got to interface about some things with WrestleMania coming up. So I'm back from Japan. And I wish I was still there because it's so awesome. I took the train a lot, although I'm not sure if it was the train because it didn't smell like urine and there was nobody fucking anybody on the seats.
No, that's what happens with a lack of Democrats.
I think that's just what happens when people actually give a shit about their community and where.
Well, no, Japanese society is very much. I don't know if you want to say introverted, but if that's probably not the right word, but. They care about their culture. They care about respect. They care about showing the rest of the world that they're a respectful and honorable nation. And there's zero tolerance for absolute bullshit, like, setting people on fucking fire on a train.
Well, so I would say like some things that were like getting used to. There's no garbage cans in Japan at all.
And there's no litter except cigarette butts.
There's no public garbage cans at all.
Wow.
Yeah,
like
there's no litter.
Moon, You might see a garbage can like once in a blue moon at the train station, maybe. You'll never see one on the streets though.
It's not polite to eat in public in Japan.
Yeah, you can eat in public. You can't eat and walk.
No, on the move. On the move. That's what I meant. Like
you can't eat and walk.
What are they peeing if there's no garbage cans?
Yeah.
I don't think you can't pee in a garbage can in New York. They have holes in the sides, man.
I saw a dude taking a full shit in the top of a garbage can, bro. He was just up there squatting right in there and just letting it rain into the hole.
That makes sense. That makes sense to a certain degree, but most of the garbage cans in New York City, like on the street corners, are just mesh. If you piss,
if you go talking high end garbage cans up in Manhattan, the ones with big dome on top.
But
those ones, those ones Japan.
Absolutely beautiful in Japan. Everybody was so super nice. How
the theme park?
Universal was awesome. Disney, like if that's what Disney World is like, I have zero want, care, or consideration to go to Disney World. Apparently, there's no rides for adults at Disneyland, so like every ride there was just a animatronic ride to tell you about the movie that I saw when I was like 6.
They have the Zootopia ride.
No.
Well, I thought that. I mean, you sure?
No, I'm not sure. I went to Japan and I looked around Disneyland and did not see. Just so you know, there's 2 theme parks there. There's 2 theme parks there. There's not. Disney World. I got news for you. You can't charge us 5 times for going to the same fucking place and be like, well, we've got 4 theme parks. No, motherfucker, you got Disney World and 4 other places that are in the exact same location that you're charging us extra to go to. You can't be like, there's 4 Disney parks in fucking Orlando, Epcot, Disney World. No, it's all the same fucking place. You're just charging us more than you're doing.
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
You're wrong. You know what? The Zootopia was in Shanghai, not Tokyo.
Yeah, I didn't go to China, guy. Guess what? China?
Wow. Not all the same. Jesus, Brooke.
That's my bad.
Oh my God, we're about to get the Shane Gillis canceling. We would actually have to have people watching us, but
Do you want to hear the most embarrassing thing that happened to me when I was in Japan?
Tell me you try to use one of those squatty toilets and then missed.
They didn't have any.
Oh, public, they definitely do.
No, they don't.
Was it when your wife said that she said she spoke Spanish to them?
No, that was pretty funny. No, this is what most embarrassing thing that happened to me, not to her.
By the way, they 100% still have them out in public. Japan is the only place that still has the fucking hole in the floor.
You could have like secondhand embarrassment.
I'm telling you, they do. I know for a fact. I was there. I understand it was a long time ago.
I was there Saturday.
That's great. Just because you didn't go into a business center bathroom that Japanese people use or something like that.
Yes, I did.
I'm telling you right now, they absolutely still exist in Japan. Okay, you just didn't see one. You definitely didn't go on a tour of bathrooms. You barely went to Disney. You're like, oh, there's 4 different lands. You don't even know how to do Disney right, let alone a public restroom. How dare you?
Every place I went to had fucking bidet toilets, and they had signs everywhere that said, don't squat on the fucking toilet. Because I guess the old people haven't figured it out. Also, by the way, Saudi Arabia still had holes in the ground when I got there. And then when I left, they had toilets. Like, no joke, the same exact airport that I went to in Saudi Arabia, when I got there, hole in the ground, inside a stall. When I left, toilet in the exact same room. I was like, oh my God, they evolved so much in like an 8-month period. I was really impressed.
I mean, if you're impressed by that, you were in Japan where America put a really big hole in the ground, and then a couple decades later, there's a town there again.
I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying is I didn't go to one place. I expected to see like the Tom Selleck, like Mr. Baseball, like Max, and
Hall of Fame.
He had to take a crap. No, I expect where he goes, Max, I need you to teach me how to take a crap. And I didn't see any of those toilets anywhere.
Yeah, dude, the hotel I was in had one of those. But again, I was there a long time ago. However, they definitely still exist because one of the people, one of the content guys I follow on YouTube talks about it all the time.
They have them in people's houses a lot.
Yeah,
they're in smaller towns. But they're definitely in public because a lot of people, like you said, the older generations, that's what they're used to.
I took a shit in a toilet in a field in the middle of fucking nowhere. We were walking to a shrine in Inari, Japan. All right. The way the shrines are set up in Japan, like they preserve them and they built up around them. So like you could live across like next door to a shrine. Like your house is just there, and you're just like, okay, a bunch of tourists are visiting the shrine next to my house, and we share a fence line. So
the question is, did you go to Hiroshima and Nagasaki?
No, it's horribly far away from Tokyo.
So I went to Osaka, Hakone, Kyoto, and Tokyo. Don't say an unkind word about fucking Japan again, Rook. All right, making jokes about fucking a bunch of people dying. It's not fucking funny. All right,
It wasn't a joke. I wanted to know if you
you're
went.
sitting there giggling about it. You're going, did you go to Hiroshima and Nagasaki?
I laugh until afterwards.
I'm just surprised he's yelling at you
bro.
for that. And I literally just said we put a hole in the ground there and then they built a town.
That was a statement of fact. All right, this guy was just like, did you see it?
I didn't get going.
Wow, Rook's catching strays.
Looking like fucking Newman over here and shit. So
I'll have to take this.
I go to fucking.
It's true, you don't.
And I hear people screaming. I hear like, ah! And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And then I start hearing ping, ping, ping. And I'm hearing, but actually, I don't hear people screaming. I hear, who, who. But like a group of people saying it. I'm like, and then I hear ping, ping, ping. And I'm like, somebody's playing baseball. And Meredith goes, what are you talking about? I said, somebody's stretching. They're counting. Ich, ni, sun, chi. They're stretching. And then the ping is them hitting ground balls at motherfuckers. I was like, so I pull up Google Maps, and there's a high school like within shouting distance of the shrine. So we're on the outside of the shrine, like property, because there's a waterfall that like on the backside of the shrine, because you have to count, you have to climb Mount Inari to get to the main shrine. Mount Inari is fucking huge. It's 100 and something stories in the air. All right.
It's a mountain. That's what happens.
Yeah, there's stairs on the front side, and then there's stairs on the back side that are not like. You guys will see video. I have video of it. I just haven't been able to pull down all the videos.
Shut up, Matt. Leave me alone. Had a long week.
So I got to take a shit, right? So we're on the back side. We didn't go up the main road. We're on the back side of the mountain, looking at shrines and shit. And I'm like, I got to take a shit. So I see a map, and it says, you are here. Restroom here. I'm like, okay, great. I start following the map. Worst map ever. Restroom, nowhere near it. So now I'm walking, and I find myself in the road that goes to the high school. And the tennis courts are across from the baseball fields, but the baseball fields are on like a hill that has like a wall. Like they dug a trench to make this road. So like the baseball field's up here, there's a wall, like a retaining wall. And then there's a road, and then there's a short little like grassy knoll to go into the tennis area. So I run all the way down, I come back, and now I'm like, I got to ask one of these kids where there's a bathroom around here. So I go up to one of the kids in Japanese. I said, excuse me, bathroom?
How do you say it in Japanese?
Say it again?
How do you say it in Japanese?
Gomenasai, toire.
Wow, look at this guy.
Gomenasai, but like things don't translate right. So like, excuse me in Japanese is gomenasai, but that's really like sorry.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Which I guess is kind of the same thing. Right?
It doesn't matter legitimately. And from everything I've been told and what I experienced over there, if you even attempt, they're like, "Oh fuck, awesome! Thank you for trying." So they look like perfect English. They just appreciate you trying.
The one kid looks at his other friend and goes, "This fucking gaijin needs the bathroom," but he says that in Japanese. Like I understand. I heard him say gaijin. I heard that shit, which I was a little insulted by because I could be Japanese, like half. So. 2 kids come out, or 3 kids come out from the tennis court now. One of them looks at, and they're having a conversation. They all go, hi. And they look at each other, hi. 2 of them go fucking darting off down the road. The other kid looks at me, he goes, wait. And I'm like, okay. So I pull up my phone, and I'm just trying to have conversation with him. At this point, like my natural instincts kick in, and I no longer have to like badly take a shit. Like when I was walking, I was like, I gotta go. I'm fucking dancing.
Had some turtle head poking out.
And then when I talked to the kid, all of a sudden I relaxed and I was like, all right, I don't got to go. So I turn to the kid and I go, oh, you play on the tennis team? But I tell him this in Japanese. And he goes, yeah, we do. And I'm like, the fuck? You speak English? And he was like,
Everybody does.
A little bit. No, not everybody does, but he's like a little bit.
It's like poquito.
So then the two kids come back and they look at they go and they start doing a thumbs up, and he goes, "Follow me." So now Meredith and I this kid starts running down the hill. So now Meredith and I start running down the hill with him, and he goes, "It's the brown house." I'm like, "All right, you speak fucking, if you know brown, then you speak English." Because like I know people who don't know, who like, "Oh yeah, I know a little Spanish." Say brown in fucking Spanish. You don't know, do you? If you can say brown in English, then you speak a language. Like that's the most arbitrary word to say in another language. Like I know little words here and there. I know how to say thank you. I know how to say please. I know how to ask for water, go to the bathroom, excuse me, I'm sorry in Japanese. I would never say I know how to speak Japanese or even understand it a little bit because I don't know how to say brown.
Did you so how do you say thank you?
Arigato gozaimasu. Actually, technically speaking, it's arigato gozaimasu. But nobody says that.
Give him a good
Everybody
bow?
always says arigato gozaimasu, or they say arigato gozaimasu.
Did you do a good bow? Because you do a shit bow, that's disrespectful. You got to do a good bow.
They do half bows. As long as you don't bow with your head, with like nod. As long as you don't nod, it's fine.
Yeah, this is shit bow. You got to do.
That's not a bow. That's a nod, guy.
That's why it's a shit bow.
It's not a bow. It's a nod.
How do you do that again?
No.
No. What? Are you doing over there?
This is shit bow.
My point is this toilet that I go into, right?
No
in
bow.
the middle of like 6 farms. It's a public restroom in the middle of 6 farms and like a junkyard.
That's so random.
And it was a modern.
That's Staten Island. That's Richmond Terrace.
You know what my shock was about using that restroom?
It's clean.
It didn't have a bidet attached to it because every other public restroom I went to in Japan had a bidet attached, like on the seat. I had like one of those seat bidets, which I just installed in my bedroom upstairs or my bathroom upstairs because Meredith was like, "Man, I miss those bidet. They wash your butt." So I installed one in my house as soon as we got home. I installed one like 2 days later as a surprise to her, as like our piece of Japan, like.
Sweetheart, surprise! I bought something to wash out your ass for you.
Hey,
that's a good surprise.
Here's the deal. It washes your butt, right? It heats the seat, so you never have to sit on a cold seat again.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
And it has a light, so at nighttime you don't have to turn on the lights to take a piss.
Oh, that's awesome.
It lights up the toilet, so you know where to aim.
I usually just pee on the floor.
I was gonna say right off the side of the bed, like a man.
So you guys go to the bathroom. I have a little.
So yeah, that was
a little tin cup next to my.
I would say
jug.
Just a little jug.
I would say I loved everything about Japan. There were a few things that I wasn't fond of. I didn't dislike them. Like for instance, I went to the Yomiuri Giants game, and one thing that
was it fun?
No, it was really great. But one thing that I could not do all the time if I went to the game, and I'm pretty sure it was just the section that I was sitting in because I was sitting with the hardcore.
Okay.
There were 2 things that happened during the game that I did not like. The first thing was whenever their team is batting, they stand up the entire half inning and they chant. So like, I don't have a problem doing that, but when you want to sit down and eat an ice cream or something like that, and you can't because you're expected to stand up and chant, and the chants are fun, and they have a different chant for every single batter.
Really?
I'm like, how do they all know the chants?
It's like
they hand them out
with fans.
Do they hand them out preseason? Like, here's the chants we're doing this year, and everybody in the section just knows the chant.
They must.
You know what it is? They have a Japanese John Sterling that comes up instead of clever, retarded fucking phrases.
What was even better?
They just come out with chants.
The three hitter's name is Trey Cabot.
Susan. Oh God!
Gorgeous bonks.
They actually have a Zach Hampel over there too, but they just beat the shit out of him instead of letting him get balls. They're very big on respect.
They are. They're about. Listen, about Japan. Japanese people about honor and respect.
I had the limited time I was in Japan as a kid, Rook. It was the greatest place in the world because you realize it's like, oh, I'm walking around a city that's like 4 times the size of Manhattan and has probably 10 times the amount of people walking around at any given time, and I'm safe right now.
Yeah, I think outside of like
Tokyo, it's set like the interior of Tokyo. Cities are
No,
bigger.
Tokyo and its surrounding suburbs has 40 million people living there.
Right.
10,
but that's
10
what I mean.
million
Like,
people.
everybody, you
10
can go
million people are
15
running
miles
through
out of the
Manhattan
heart of, 15, 20 miles out of the heart of Tokyo, and people will be like, yeah, you're still in Tokyo.
Yeah.
Like, it's Tokyo.
Well,
but it's not the city of, you know what I mean? It's not the heart. It's not the.
It's they include the surrounding prefectures.
Yes.
So, but that's like New York, right? Like the New York City
Outside of, like-
metro area includes pieces of New Jersey and Connecticut and Nassau
Right.
and Suffolk and fucking upstate. Same shit. But that metro area, when you look out a window, it's just buildings everywhere.
Yeah.
Like I stayed at the Tokyo Dome Hotel. It's
Nice.
just buildings. I've never seen so many buildings that close to each other.
Yeah, I'd like to go to Japan. That's like probably one of the.
It was so. I'm recommending to everybody, anywhere, at all times, go to Japan. I'm already planning a trip for when I get back from this upcoming deployment to go
Really
back.
go back again, huh?
Yeah, it was
Nice.
so
the other
incredible.
Disneyland parks there.
Yeah, the other one's called Disney Sea. So there's Tokyo Disneyland, and then there's Disney Sea.
And then you go
Disney
to
Sea
Shanghai.
might have a Zootopia thing, but Tokyo Disneyland does not.
No, it doesn't. This is Shanghai. I messed up when I looked it up.
And then Disney Sea, and like there's no Marvel, there's no Star Wars at Disneyland in Tokyo.
Yeah.
So you're basically going there to ride the little cart rides that have the animatronics that tell you about Snow White and Pinocchio and like all the movies you saw when you were a child.
Do they have
Oh, it is.
the Beauty and the Beast one?
Yeah, the Beauty and the Beast one was pretty cool because of the AI that runs it. But like, there's no like roller coaster for an adult to be like, wow, that was fucking dope. I almost died. At Universal, they had a Jurassic Park ride where you fly. It's like the Superman ride where you fly horizontal.
Mhm.
And at one point, I was inverted. And then I did like a loop while inverted underground and came back up. I was like, that was the most incredible thing that ever happened to me.
That's intense.
Other than a toilet washing your ass.
That's true. That's cool too. Unless the water's
saying.
cold.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Dude, I'm in public
you go to Disney
restrooms and
World,
train
you know.
stations, and even those had bidets.
But if you go to Disney World, like really, like what roller coaster? Like if you go like Magic Kingdom, like Space Mountain's the most intense roller coaster they have.
That's
And it's 30, it only goes 36 miles an hour, but it's still awesome.
So like Disney
It is awesome,
probably
but that's
not for
like
me.
yeah, Disney World.
Epcot Guardians of the Galaxy might be one of the coolest roller coasters I've ever been on.
Well,
other
that's
than Hagrid's
I missed the Hagrid's one. The Universal in Japan is not as robust as Universal in Florida.
Mhm.
So like their Hogwarts area is just Hogsmeade Village and the castle, and there's two rides. It's the Escape from
Gringotts?
No, not that one because they don't have Gringotts.
Ooh,
It's the other one where you're in Hogwarts,
gotcha.
and then the Hippogriff ride, which is for children.
Yes.
Yeah. No,
Which
I was
we did not
saying,
know.
but TJ, I was meant like if you look at Magic Kingdom, like realistically, like all those roller coasters there, are like
Oh,
Except
listen,
it's
Magic
not
Kingdom
local
is
the
at this point you go to
Kong.
Magic Kingdom for the reminiscing about being a kid and going there if you were a Disney family or not.
Did
You
you
know what I
do-
mean?
Did you do Tron when you went to Magic Kingdom? Was it
I
open?
did.
That one's
It was
intense.
okay.
That's intense, right?
It's so quick, dude. It's honestly
I heard it's super fast.
you're on and off that ride in a minute. Well, I mean, sitting down and getting up. I don't mean on and off like you're gonna fucking wait in line for like an hour or so.
So
But
we went to Super Nintendo World and Universal.
nice.
That's cool.
That
We
was
just
dope.
opened that in Florida. Well, they opened it in May. They
Yeah,
had like the
Epic
preview
Universe,
opening
yeah.
or something, Epic
Yeah.
Universe.
It was cool. The only thing that wasn't, again, everything was cool, and it's my own fault. You know, it's you go there, and if there's anything that involves a character speaking to you, it's in Japanese, so you kind of lose that part of it. Like there is a singular Star Wars ride at Tokyo Disneyland or Disneyland Tokyo, whatever it's called. But like there's a lot of like characters talking to you in the ride because it's one of those rides where you sit in a room and you're supposed to be in a spaceship and there's a video camera in front of you, or not a video camera, but like a TV screen in front of you, and then the whole room moves like you're in a spaceship.
Star Tours.
Star Tours, yeah.
Yeah. So Star Tours in Japanese where they speak to you in Japanese and you're just like, I don't know what the fuck they're saying. What's Vader saying right now?
The original narrator in Star
Translate on.
Tours in
Just
Florida.
gonna Google Translate, trying to figure out what they're saying.
It doesn't
Say-
work that way.
I know.
The original narrator for the Star Tours ride, the robot that talks to you before they redid it in Florida was Pee Wee Herman, Paul Rubens. Fun
Is
fact.
that the one they moved to? It's in the Ogre's Cantina, right? The DJ
No. They still have Star Tours. It's still sitting there by itself.
No, I'm saying they have that robot.
Oh, that robot. Yes, that robot is. Yeah.
In the cantina.
Well, one of them, because each ride vehicle had that robot in it,
Oh,
so
robot,
they moved one of them into. Yeah.
He moved one into the cantina. He's the DJ of the cantina.
Yes.
What was I gonna say? Oh, just so you know, Mickey Mouse is still Mickey Mouse in Japanese. Sounds exactly the same.
They
except
don't say
he's speaking Japanese instead of speaking English.
In Italy, they call him Topolino, which means little mouse. You know that?
Oh boy!
I'm still trying to figure out how Italy got part of the Axis during World War II, because out of the 3 countries, they were the weakest.
Well, then they switched though. So
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you get your dick kicked in constantly.
yeah.
You're like, all right, we made a mistake. We're on your side now. Fucking Italy.
Like it wasn't us; it was Mussolini. Check this shit out, and they hang him upside down and spit on him and kick him in the face until he's dead.
And they put
What's that movie, Captain something Mandolin? What is that one?
What?
You ever see that movie with Penelope Cruz and Nicolas Cage?
No.
He plays the Italian soldier who invades Greece.
I find Penelope Cruz to be very unattractive.
Yeah.
But Japan's, you're going to see, like, I'll be posting tons of video on Japan. I went to Osaka, Kyoto, Hakone, and Tokyo. I went to a Yomiuri Giants game. I went to Universal. I went to Disney. I went to Dotonbori, which is like the big like area in Osaka that's just like madness. There was one thing I didn't do in Osaka, and it was because poor advertising. There's something in Osaka called Round One, and I just saw a video of it the other day. And apparently you pay like $10 American, which is I don't know, like a little bit less than 2,000 yen. And you go in this 10-story building, and on every floor, there's a different style of like play. On the roof, there's batting cages, unlimited. Everything is unlimited. So you pay your $10. Everything that's inside the building is included in that $10. So you can sit in the batting cages for 3 days, just sitting there hitting baseballs. They've got bowling alleys.
Did you get like you stay home sick from school one day and that was all that was on TNT and that's why you watched it?
You saw it on a plane somewhere before you could actually like pick the movie that you could watch on a plane. Had to be. That's plane.
It's really no, because it's funny. The movie. Well, it's not funny. It's kind of sad. But what happens is he's part of the Italian forces. They invade Greece. Penelope Cruz plays a Greek girl in it. So
that's right. Penelope Cruz plays Italian in fucking Ferrari, and I'm just like, she doesn't even sound like she's trying to be Italian. Like, she's so clearly not Italian. The only thing that's worse is the American girl who's not Italian.
Oh, I'm sure Nicolas Cage didn't sound Italian. He's like, oh,
yeah,
Castor Troy.
He's the Italian.
I'm Castor Troy.
But
Nicolas Cage is Italian.
So halfway through the movie,
no, he's American. He's not Italian. He's of Italian descent. I don't want to hear it.
Yes. So halfway through the movie, they're
it's
like,
not hard to sound Italian. All right, baby.
It's World War II. It's World War II. So obviously, halfway through the movie, he's the Italian force. So what happens is the Germans turn on them because
that's a great nickname, by the way. If you just have a hammer and everybody in the locker room calls you the Italian force.
Italian force.
You're a sick man. You know that?
I'll never be the Italian force. It's okay.
So this place round one.
I think we need to move on.
I saw this place round one, right? And I saw this video after the fact, and I was like, that's what was in that place? Outside is just a giant fucking bowling pin. I thought it was a bowling alley. I was like, I'm not going in there. I didn't come all the way to Japan to bowl.
That's on you. You never watched the movie Kingpin? Come on. You always go into the bowling alley.
I'm going to the other side of the planet Earth to go bowling. I don't even like fucking bowling in New York. That's what townies do. That's what you do when you live.
That's why you missed out. No,
Wisconsin,
that's what you missed out.
You have nothing to do on a Friday because there is nothing to do in Kenosha, Wisconsin on a Friday.
Rookie's out. Strike three for him. Okay.
We're gonna move on. We went from the country of the rising sun to get me to God's country.
Oh yeah. Cue the fucking.
I don't have it.
Piano music.
I don't have it. And if I try to upload it, my computer will malfunction because it can't do the podcast and that at the same time. But
it's funny, dude. My boss walked in this morning and he was like, so the Masters are on today. I'm like, yeah, I'll be watching it. Yeah. I was like, did you expect work to get done today? He's like, I'll be watching it as well. I'm like, I'm glad we're on the same page, boss.
Yeah. Dude. I literally watched I put the app on my phone and just listened on the way to I wasn't watching it
Hands down the best app ever made for sports.
But it is, I watched the opening. Well, not watch. I listened to the opening starters, the honorary starters, and then I had that playing in my, while everyone was teeing off. And then I got to court, and I had to sit there for like 4 hours for the court. The judge finally called me, and then I got called, and I was literally just checking the Masters app the entire time while sitting there. And then when I had to do a deposition, I had a translator, which means that after every time I ask a question, I have to wait at least 30 seconds before I get an answer. So I just sat there watching the rest of his life
because he was busy looking up at the Masters.
It was, listen, it's when you have to do a deposition and there's a translator, it is
flat out sat there. He's like, win some, lose some, man.
It was so annoying.
He pulled a my cousin Vinny, win some, lose some.
Win some, lose some.
So the Masters app may be the greatest app ever built for sports. It's free. You can pretty much just watch every single person that you want to watch on the Masters. You can be specific to holes. You can be like, I just want to watch Amen Corner. I want to see people fucking fuck up on 12. That's all I want to see. I want to, you know what I mean? You could do so much different like personalization in that app and then follow along. It's just,
you could,
dude, I'm not lying when I say every shot. I'm not lying when I say the Masters is bigger than the fucking Super Bowl to me. Why? I'm a Jets fan. I'll never see my team in the Super Bowl. I've come to accept it. However, watching the Kansas City Chiefs fucking every goddamn year is played out and boring. The fucking halftime show sucks a bag of dicks. It really does. It's awful. It's made for fucking losers that are like, I don't even like football, but I watch for the commercials. Commercials suck too. They're woke. They're garbage. Okay, the Super Bowl sucks now. You know what doesn't suck every year after year is the Masters. Everybody gets hyped for it. The players are hyped for it. Okay, they're playing in a place where it's like, oh, hey, you might be a past winner here, but you can't just come here and play. You have to call up and ask a member to take you out to golf. Like, that's how, imagine like Tiger Woods being like, oh, hey, can I play there? And it's like, well, you got to go through the proper channels and ask.
Respectfully, everything that you said is fairly accurate, except for the fact that, if you don't like golf, then yeah, the Masters.
Well, obviously, if you don't like golf or sports or anything like that, that's great. Some people don't like.
Golf is what you do when you're done playing sports.
That's not true at all.
You can play it when you're 85 years old competitively. It's not a sport.
No, you can't.
Dr. Kelso's out there playing golf right now, and he's probably better than you.
I suck at golf, though. That's like a horrible comparison.
Just saying.
It's like how you can't hit a curveball. Like, we know you have faults.
I can't hit a fastball. I could totally hit a curveball.
No, you can't hit a curveball. So, yes, Rook, the Masters ripping it up. I would love to tell you that I'm surprised by the leaderboard, but I'm absolutely not. We discussed this earlier in the week, and I pretty much told you, and me and you were on the same page. I'm like, you can't not bet Scotty Scheffler. He's obviously the favorite. The guy dominates, and high-pressure situations don't matter to the guy. He goes out there and plays golf as if he's doing it on a Sunday afternoon with his kids and has nothing better going on, so he might as well play some golf. He's cool, calm, and collected. Bryson DeChambeau in the mix, tied 5th. I thought Bryson had a good shot at winning. I liked him a lot going through it. I like Bryson this year so far, how he's been playing.
Who won last year?
Scotty.
John Rahm won in 2023, and what'd you say?
Scotty won in 2024.
Yeah, in 2024.
So what was the meal this year, guys?
That was actually Scotty's meal, because it's the second time he's done it, is like awesome. He does a ribeye steak, or if like you don't like eat steak, he gives like some sort of blackened fish. And the dessert is the cookie baked in a pan.
I'm sorry, bro. That's so played out. It really is. I've had that. Those cookies in the personal skillet suck. They really do.
No, but this is at Augusta. This is not a
I understand that, but it's still a fucking chocolate chip cookie. It's like, hey, we're going to spice up a cookie.
Before you bash it, bash the meal, I forgot what his appetizer was, and he was like something like sliders.
No, everything else looked good, but the second I saw the dessert, I'm like, boring.
And what bourbon did he serve? Did you see what it was?
No, I didn't.
George T. Stagg.
Was it? Nice.
Yes, it was. And there was a certain kind of whiskey too. Rye whiskey. I don't remember what it was, but I know he served George T. Stagg, and I was like, George T. Stagg. I don't know. I can talk.
Rook, if I was ever allowed at Augusta and they served me toilet water, I'd fucking happily enjoy that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. But imagine, these guys are champions. They all been to every Champions Dinner for how long?
Right.
So his is very good, but they were talking. People were bad mouthing Bubba Watson's. Bubba Watson's is actually awful. It's a grilled chicken salad, like some sort of like other grilled chicken, like for the meal, and
That's
like
terrible.
and like funfetti dessert. Like
That's awful.
it's the most basic child menu. I think Nick Faldo made fun of it on Twitter when the first time Bubba Watson was there. And then, so the thing is, I never realized. I thought when you go to the Champions Dinner, you have to eat what the champion puts out. You actually can order whatever you want off the menu, like you have steaks. So I said, oftentimes people just go and they don't actually order from what the champion gives them. They just actually order just steaks from Augusta. Which, if I was a Bubba Watson's, I 100% be eating steaks, not some bullshit chicken.
Imagine you just like you got like Tiger Woods sitting there, right? He's like pissed off, injured again, because that's always the situation, and I feel terrible for him. And he's just sitting there like, I want a fucking steak, and he whips Bubba Watson's chicken salad off the wall. What are you gonna say to Tiger Woods?
His Caesar salad, like child.
What am I, a fucking rabbit, Bubba? Get out of here.
One of the best meals, though, Scotty's meal was very good. It's up there. Was Hideki Matsuyama's.
I was gonna say Matsuyama's was very interesting, and even I like John Rahm's.
His name is Matsui.
Matsuyama actually had like assorted sushi for appetizer.
For my new favorite team, the Yomiuri Giants.
And he had Wagyu steak as the main meal. And I was like,
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm a little tired of Wagyu steak at this point.
Oh, sorry.
This guy just keeps trying injecting Japanese into. We get it. You went to Japan. We understand. Now you're back in America. Okay, you better start acting like a fucking American.
Yeah, you gotta eat that steak.
I'm interrupting people when they're talking.
You got to eat the American steak as opposed to the Japanese steak because it has like a 25%.
I literally just said I'm tired of Wagyu.
He keeps cutting me off
because I want a fucking American steak because they only eat like 5-ounce steaks.
You like
because Wagyu is literally too rich to fucking enjoy an 8-ounce or 10-ounce or 12-ounce piece. Have you
I'm not sitting here saying that they're wrong for it. I'm saying that's all they fucking got.
No, you can order a regular steak in Japan. You chose to order Wagyu.
It's not on the menu, my friend. I went to like 4 different restaurants. It's Wagyu everywhere you go. You walk down the street and they're like, we've got Wagyu.
We talked enough about Japan. We talked the first 30 minutes about Japan, right? Just because we mentioned Matsuyama having his Japanese food, all right? Relax.
No, you said Hideki. There's only one
Hideki. Go hang out with your male Komodo you got there.
Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous.
Right, moving on to the Masters. First day, first round. We were talking before. He said Bryson was, you expected him to play well. I did too as well. Who I really expected to do really well, who actually played really well today was Ludwig Oberg. He's 4 under right now.
Yeah, I said Aberg was going to Oberg. But I keep calling him Aberg because I see that you can't not say it, and then I catch myself and say Oberg. But yeah, he was part of my mix as well. He's
I really like
stroke gains. He came in as a high favorite. I think he's number 3. I think it's Scotty, and then behind Scotty was Rory, and then Oberg
Oberg got him at plus 1,800. So I don't think he was.
Yeah, he was. He was definitely in the top 5, and then Bryson was next. Bryson was. But I'm going by somebody ran a simulation like 71,000 rounds or something like that of simulation, and everybody's stats going into it, and it came out with a result of like 56% chance Scotty Scheffler wins. After that, like Rory had, I want to say like 20 something, and then Oberg had 10 or so. Oberg had 10 or something, and then after that was Bryson had like a 5% chance, and then everybody else in the field, other than those 4 guys, made up like the other 7% that was left.
Yeah, I really like. Actually, I know you don't like. I don't know how you feel about Rory still. Remember, you hated Rory with the whole live.
I fucking hate Rory McIlroy. Oh, taking somebody's phone. Oh, you're gonna collapse again like you did in the Masters.
That was ridiculous. Listen,
that was ridiculous. And guess what? He's fucking. He was at one point -3 or -4, and then he fucking blew up, and now he's even. So I'm glad, dude. I'm glad that this guy has one, chink in the armor, and it's fucking Augusta, and he can't perform there. He was ahead by 4 or 5 strokes clear going into the last round and absolutely shit the bed, and then he's a bitch about it. So fuck him. I don't give a shit. He costs more people money on the fucking PGA Tour than anybody else, and then he'll sit there and still blame Liv.
I know you don't like him. I was actually rooting for him this year. I think it's been like a long time coming for him.
Fuck him.
And the funny thing is too, like he's had really bad days at Augusta, but like there was a couple years ago, he had like an awesome Sunday. He was like 7 or 8 under on Sunday, but he was just so far back that it just didn't matter. It's like he can play Augusta, but it's just I feel like him getting there. I think it's just in his head that he just cannot win there. And I feel like even today he was like 2 or 3 under, and I'm like, oh shit, like Rory is playing really well today. And then next time he double bogeyed 18 to get back to even, and it was like, come on, guy, like you were actually having a good round finally. And then he imploded again. Oberg I like, Bryson I like.
Bryson was on the range, dude. While we were starting this podcast, Bryson was still on the fucking range. I'm pretty sure he's still out there right now. You have Brandel Chambly droning on and on about whatever the fucking nonsense he wants to spit. The guy's a moron. But I'm pretty sure Bryson's still standing behind him and hitting ball after ball. They said he hit 393 shots in the practice range the other day.
Final number for him was 438 in the last 3 days. Before
fucking nuts.
The guy's a beast, man. I was like, come on, save it for the freaking rounds. And then like he might get tired, but he guy's an animal. I think he does not get tired. He'll hit as many balls as he can. Him and Max Homa had the most range balls before the start of today. But yeah, I liked him. I like Morikawa coming in. Morikawa actually didn't really play that well. And my guy, Tony Finau, I did not bet on him this time. I was not feeling high on Tony Finau. He has like 5 kids and a newborn. I'm like, this guy is not going to be able to play Augusta.
This guy's just enjoying the fact that he's not home right now.
Well, no, they travel with them. They're there.
Oh, fuck.
They're in Augusta. He had like
poor bastard.
All like 5. I don't know. He has 5 or 6 kids. One of them's a newborn, so it's 5 or 6 of them. And they're all in their their caddy outfits, and his wife on the par 3 day. So
yeah, that's all fucking cute. And listen, 100%. And I appreciate the fact that he's a family man, and I love Tony Finau. We are fanatics. What do we see? Fanatics. Yeah, we are. We like the guy. However, you know that guy at some point this fucking weekend is gonna wake up and just be standing there in his boxers with like his little bit of gut hanging out, looking at his wife. It's like, you got to shut that fucking kid up. I tee off in 6 hours. Like, there's only fucking $6 million on the line. What the fuck?
That's why I said I wasn't better on him. He's +3 right now through 18, which is it's not horrible.
It's not bad.
But he's still not like in the top of the mix. Like he'll probably I'm hoping what happens tomorrow. But
the one good thing about the Masters is the pin placements can get crazy and people blow up. I mean, the year when Tiger won and what was that, 2019?
Yeah.
Tiger wins and he because everybody fucked up on 12. Like we watched how many balls go in the water and Tiger's Tony Finau, Brooks Koepka, Tony
Finau was on the
Schauffele put a ball in the water. Yeah, dude, and Tiger Woods is just sitting there like, it's a 130-yard shot, guys. What the fuck are we doing? Just aim for the middle.
He put it somewhere safe. He's like, but Tony Finau was in the final group. He was with Tiger on Sunday.
Yeah.
And he basically watched Tiger win. Well, hopefully not his last one, but at this point, it seems like it might be. All the injuries, just horrible for Tiger. But you gotta think about it too. Tiger's such an athlete that like he's had like serious injuries as opposed to like some of these golfers, they don't get that. Like they might have an injury, like a back problem or something like that. Tiger's got the legs. He's got.
Tell me what a serious injury is for
car accidents. He's an athlete though.
I saw a fucking goalie get his throat slit on the ice. That's a serious injury.
No, but Tiger's body did take a toll.
I saw a football player break his neck on the field. I saw a baseball player fucking die in 1920.
Do you understand why Tiger Woods doesn't?
Nick, you're talking about like football to golf. Obviously not, but we're talking about
Nick. No. I got this. I got this.
Basketball player's shin break out of his fucking leg.
Yeah, you know what? If you fuck up in basketball and your shin explodes out of your leg, that means you're a fucking loser. Okay, they don't even play fucking defense in basketball. I don't want to hear that shit. Basketball isn't even a real sport. Golf is way more of a fucking athletic sport than basketball. Okay, let's call it what it is. Okay, at the end of the day, Tiger Woods doesn't wear fucking shorts because people would be like, what the fuck happened to your leg? And it's like, well, I woke up and it was laying practically next to me after my car crash. So he gets a break.
That's not a golf-related injury. That's a fucking sexaholic fucking driver.
He was leaving the golf course when that fucking happened. So it's a golf-related injury.
He was the Genesis. Was he in the Genesis?
Genesis. Yep.
Sponsor.
Yep. I want to hear you shit, Nick. Okay.
Oh, but let's talk about this. Back to the Masters. Freddie Couples. Did you see this?
No.
the eagle on I think it was on 14 or 12, something like that. Not 12 because 12 was par 3. I think it was on 14. He hit an eagle. He's I think Freddie Couples was probably 63, 65 years old, something like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, he still plays on the Champions Tour. How
old is he?
That's true.
It's gonna happen. You know what I mean?
I look it up, but he also had his first hole. He chipped in for a birdie. So Freddie Couples is actually 1 under today.
Yeah, but you know what? Freddie Couples always has a nice Thursday and Friday, and well Thursday, and then does decently on Friday. But even when he makes the cut, he falls off hard. It is what it is, dude. The age catches up to you, and not only that, the workability of the ball. You know what I mean? So being able to target these pins that are, back left, back right, put them in tough spots where the bunker comes into play, and you have to be. I mean, you're talking about undulations on the green where you have to land it within a 2-foot range to get anything by the hole when it comes down to Saturday and Sunday. Mostly Saturday's brutal. So Freddie Couples being there doesn't surprise me, but he's going to be one of those guys that falls off. Would I love to see Freddie Couples win the Masters at 60-something years old? Yeah, that'd be tremendous. But I doubt very much that it's going to happen. Nick, you didn't catch anything from the Masters?
No. Why would I?
Unbelievable.
Why would I watch the Masters? Golf is like watching paint dry.
You know what? Whatever. So you missed this awesomeness. Justin Thomas was having an issue up by the green, and the amateur playing out there, Jose Luis Ballester, decided he had to pee. Didn't realize there was toilets along 13, and ran down to Rays Creek and took a leak in Rays Creek. However, in plain view of a bunch of spectators or patrons, as they're called, and he got a round of applause. He said that was the best round of applause he got all day. And he said he wasn't embarrassed by it at all. It is what it is. He goes, if I had to do it again, I would go right down to that river and pee again. So an amateur shows up to Augusta and pees in Rays Creek, a place where
Is that where
you're not allowed to call fans. They're called patrons. You're not allowed to call the rough. It's called the second cut. Okay, people get fired from doing broadcast at Augusta because they don't like the things that they say or have made slights or jokes at the expense of the Masters and Augusta, and they're not invited back. And this guy's just pulling out the old drainage pipe and peed into Rays Creek. Something's going to happen after that. This guy is definitely getting a talking to from the Masters. They literally made Tiger Woods apologize for infidelity and creating a stir before the Masters when he got caught cheating on his wife.
Who is Ray?
Rays Creek is the creek that runs in front of 12, pretty much, is the best way to describe it for you as somebody that doesn't give a shit.
Gotcha. You know what bothers me the most about Augusta, Georgia?
What's that?
I want to say the county that it's in or the county that's adjacent to it is Martinez, and everybody in Georgia calls it Martinez.
I mean, the crazy Devil fans that still say Martin Brodeur. It's Martin.
Well, in French, it's Martin.
Yeah, but who gives a fuck what the French have to say?
Well,
they need to win a war before they get to fucking. They don't have a say. They don't have a say.
So hold on. So Martin Prado, does he get to call himself Martin?
I don't give a fuck about him, so he can call himself asshole for all I care.
So if somebody so Captain Picard, what's his first name?
John Luke.
Why is it not Jean Luc or Jean Luc?
I don't know.
Because it's fucking French and he's Jean Luc.
It doesn't matter. Star Trek is whack. It's for fucking nerds and Frenchmen, apparently.
I'm just saying, it's a different language. His name is Martin Brodeur. I don't like him.
It's not. It's not. It's Martin. It's Martin Brodeur.
Just like
Martin.
His name. Is it
Martin
Patrick
Lawrence.
Roy? Is his name
Martin
Patrick Roy?
Lawrence.
Why do they call him Marty? Why do they call him Martini?
So, Mike, is his name Patrick Roy?
That's
Yeah.
Wow.
No, it's not. It's Patrick
is.
Roy, and you know it.
It is. It's Patrick Roy.
Roy, and you know it.
You explain to me how you get wah from that.
It's in French. I don't fucking know. It means
Exactly. And dude, you have to win something to have it stick, and they've won nothing. The French are known for fucking what? What are they known for? Losing constantly, getting invaded easily, surrendering always.
They're known also for these French kiss and the ménage à trois.
They don't do it right though, so fuck them.
They do the devil's menage a trois.
So
they just do a straight fucking human centipede of dudes.
How about Justin Rose?
Justin Rose. I was waiting for you to get back. Justin Rose
6
is the
birdies,
guy.
10 holes.
He's the guy. Every year the Masters has a guy that comes out of nowhere and is leading the pack after day one, and then they fucking fall off hard. And unfortunately, I think Justin Rose is going to fall off hard. I just don't think he has staying power in who's there and what these guys are bringing in. I just don't think he's older gentleman, not obviously Freddie Couples, but he's on the back nine, right? He's 100% on the back nine.
TJ just pulled a fucking Latimer just now from the program. I don't think you got it, pal.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't pull anything from shit movies.
No, you know what? Shit movies. So how dare you?
Yeah, the program is the worst fucking football movie ever made.
Stop it.
I guarantee you whatever football Air Bud that came out 10 times better than fucking the program.
Fucking the program. Necessary Roughness is worse than the program. Scott Bakula is like 40 years old and Necessary Roughness.
I've seen it. I wouldn't watch it.
Scott Bakula is like fucking Chris Wenke at Florida State in Necessary Roughness.
So I was gonna say was Justin Rose actually has led the first day of the Masters 4 times in his career, but he's never won it. So it's like
not an easy feat. Not an easy feat, dude. It's definitely a difficult fucking thing to do. And again, it has very much to do with the greens, how they're kept, and how you watch guys putt a ball that looks like it stopped 7 times already on the way to the hole, and then picks up speed and goes 4 feet past. It's insane, and the camera doesn't do it justice. How much roll is on those greens? How much undulation?
It's insane. And then
it's always a $10 word when a $5 world to do.
It's fascinating to me too, because always like the first 2 days.
Says the dude in a fucking dude's kimono. How dare you?
It isn't a kimono.
It's always
stop interrupting, Rook.
It's fascinating because the first 2 days is always like a lot of scoring, and then Saturday and Sunday the scoring just stops. Like the course, the pin placement changes. It gets really tough to play that course when it comes to the weekend.
But I was going to say Sunday has some crazy movement. Like you said, Saturday and Sunday, it slows down. The movement day is definitely Thursday. You try to score a little bit. Friday's your day that you try to get in a better position for the weekend because essentially you're fighting up to stay under par or at par at that point. But yet there's always one dark horse that comes out and is like -4 and the rest of the field is struggling to stay even par. And it's like, holy shit, we got some action.
Yeah.
That's why the Masters is great.
Yeah, exactly. I always love when there's like the last couple of years, I feel like it's been like this guy's winning it. Like when it comes to 18 or like, I want to see like, all right, someone needs the birdie here or something to win this.
I want to see a playoff. I want to see a playoff, dude. I want to see 3 dudes tied at the end. And we almost had that when Tiger won because everybody was in the mix. And then it was just 12 fucked them royally. And then again, on a Sunday at the Masters, there's no clawing back 2 strokes. Like it's not something that's easily done. It just, especially after 12, now you got the 13 to face the rest of Amen corner. And there's no forgiveness. The par 3 that comes up after that is ridiculous. And then 18 is essentially everybody on a Sunday plays 18 for par. Like that's all you're trying to do is remain at the same score and not fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Masters is so much fun to watch. I was excited this week when it finally came, and it's just it's one of those things, one of those sporting events that just will always be timeless.
Yeah,
and just be fun to watch no matter the age, no matter who's playing. It's always gonna be fun.
Yeah, I agree.
Great for the sport too.
Oh, absolutely, dude. I mean, you tell me I'm wrong, but number 1 sporting event is the Stanley Cup Finals, hands down. After that, it's the World Series for me. And then, dude, the Masters, I want to say the Masters and the Open, especially when it's at St. Andrews, is
the Olympics, man.
Is special. What?
The Olympics are great. When you can watch the Olympics at 2 a.m. and you're fucking hammered. Like, I remember being like 20, 22. I can't remember if it was 22, I guess that was the Olympics. And I remember being at the bar at fucking 2 a.m. watching like gymnastics or some shit. And I'm being like, yeah, this is fucking great. It's something to watch.
At 2 a.m. when you got a buzz on at the bar, everything is awesome. If Foxy Boxing came on, you're gonna be like, "Oh fuck yeah, Foxy Boxing!"
Be fucking hammered at the bar to watch Foxy Boxing, my friend.
I'm just saying, like literally, if they had snail racing, you'd be like, "Oh fuck, come on, number 3." It is what it is, dude. I get excited for Quick Draw when I get a buzz on.
Play for
what?
So what country does number 3 play for?
I have no idea.
Oh, well, if he's not American,
Uruguay.
Fuck it. I don't give a fuck. I'm not watching that shit.
Dude, I'll even sit there and watch.
That is partly why I can't get into golf. Like, I watch sports because the sports that I do enjoy, there's players that play for a team that represents my town. I don't give a fuck about any of these golfers. If they all died tomorrow because there was like a fucking sinkhole at the Masters, I'd be like, oh.
Whoa. Now you're destroying the fucking greatest golf course ever built. What a fucking monster you are. Listen, you should have stopped at killing all the pro golfers. I could have lived with that as long as Augusta fucking remained safe.
That is where I draw the line.
That's right.
The amount of
fuck around here.
Planes you said, all the private planes in Augusta, it's insane.
Yep.
Dude, when I go to train at Augusta, if it's this time of year, if I ever go down to Augusta to go train at Fort Eisenhower, if it's this time of year, they're like, be advised, there's no fucking hotels.
Yep.
So you're going to be homeless for a few days. So figure it out.
Dude, if you live around Augusta, you can pretty much pay your mortgage by just renting out your house for that week.
Yeah. You could.
Like Motel 6 down there is probably like $800 a night for the fucking
like
there is a Top Golf in Augusta, Georgia.
You probably put up to like South Carolina or Florida and then coming back.
What?
I'm saying like you're probably better off like staying like in a different state at that point.
No, Augusta is north. So South Carolina, yes. Florida, no.
No, I said South Carolina. I said Florida first when I said South Carolina.
Yeah, Florida.
I might be driving randomly to Georgia, fingers crossed, because I signed up for the lottery to win 13 colonies out of Georgia. Nice bourbon. Nice segue into whiskey of the week. They're putting out a 141 proof double oaked single barrel, and its MSRP is $250, and they're only selling 90 bottles.
Wow.
And if you win the lottery, you have up until like the end of July. You have to go in person to the distillery to buy it. So I told Carissa, I'm like, if I get selected for this lottery, we're going to Georgia for no other reason other than to go to a distillery. So like, I will drive the fucking 14 hours or whatever it is.
You want to know what's cool about Georgia? You can ride in the back of a flatbed.
Yeah, you can do that in most states.
You can't do it in New York.
Well, I mean, New York sucks.
You can do it in New York. There's just so many laws that if you don't like, you're more than likely breaking one of them when you do it.
Right. No, dude, same thing as in Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach, if we're going like somewhere local, I'm not driving fast.
Right.
Steven and Alex will jump in the bed of the truck and I'll drive them around and shit like that. Nobody cares.
Too. Like in New York State, not New York City, but in New York State, you can do the same thing. But there's like 4 different laws that all contradict each other. So that if you're doing one, you're breaking the other. So it's kind of impossible, but it's not. You just got to know how to break the law the right way.
Well, we were driving on a highway. I was doing like 70 and a pickup truck passed me doing about 75, 80. And there was like a whole family in the bed of the truck. It's like, wow, that's a little dangerous.
Yeah, in Georgia, they don't give a fuck. In Georgia, it's like, dude, 65, I don't give a shit. It's your life. You figure it out. Because I sat in the back of my cousin's Nissan Titan while he was doing 65 down the road. Me and his buddy Davis chilling.
Nice. Well, might as well roll right into whiskey of the week.
Let's do it.
If I can find the fucking cue.
Find it.
Whiskey of the week.
So what are we drinking, gents?
Ready?
I don't know. Did we do this? I don't know if we did this last time.
I have no idea.
The bottle you bought me for Bardstown, I finished it. So I had to buy another one. This is the gold label one, the Origin series bourbon. It's 106 proof. The mash bill is corn 53%, wheat 39%, and malted barley 8%. Nice. It's a 6-year distilled. This was actually distilled in 2018. This one. And we were talking about this recently. I don't know if I feel like we talked about this. I don't know if we did. I can't remember the last time we were on, but we actually I bought the white label. You bought the gold label Bardstown. I had bought the black label a week before on St. Patrick's Day, we hung out and we were drinking this, and actually it was really good. I actually am a fan of Bardstown now because it's the first time I've had it. Chris told us to get it. I'm a huge fan of it now. And then they recently were featured on 60 Minutes, which is really random. They had a report about
slave
bourbon
labor.
barrels. What's that?
Was it a report on slave labor?
No, on bourbon barrels. How they like? I think the one guy who owns like a barrel company, and it's like generations family owned it from like since like 1912. And he said the bourbon barrels get used so much after that first use that he's like, I go to wineries in California, and they're using barrels that my grandfather made.
What's the difference between wineries and vineyards?
Yeah, whatever, the same thing.
No,
I assume it's a difference, but I'm sure
A vineyard actually has grapes growing, and a winery is just some place that has wine selling it.
That sounds plausible. I'll buy that.
A vineyard is like actual place where you're growing the grapes and stuff like that. But a winery could just be places where either processing it or bottling it, or you just a fucking tasting room and you're selling it. Yeah, barreling.
He probably meant vineyards, but I said wineries because I'm
wait, hold on. A vineyard may not necessarily make wine, right? They could just be making grapes.
It's true, I guess.
Like Martha's Vineyard.
That's true. That's true.
Place sucks.
I gotta ponder this shit for a bit.
But anyway, the bourbon barrels is actually interesting because they get used after that first use of bourbon. They'll send it to a winery, or they'll send it to a Tennessee whiskey. They'll make Tennessee whiskey in it.
Send it to the rum fucking factories now.
What?
Now they send it to the rum factories.
They send it to rum factories. Send it to India. They'll send it to India for Indian whiskey.
Thank you,
and then they'll send it to wineries. So like these bourbon barrels are used.
Forgetting breweries.
What's that?
That's true.
Breweries.
Yeah, Goose Island.
Too, yeah, you're right. No, you're right.
I was when I was at Weyerbacher, I keep kicking myself for not buying one. When I was at Weyerbacher, they did a whiskey barrel aged. I think it was a stout, and they had the whiskey barrel sitting there like for sale. They're like, "Yeah, we did it. We ran it once. We soaked up as much flavor out of it as we could." And you could buy these barrels because we just have 100 barrels sitting here with nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
$100. And I'm an asshole. I should have bought one of the barrels for $100 because literally, dude, if you go to Lowe's, you can buy a Jack Daniels barrel, like a used whiskey barrel from Jack Daniels. They're $400 fucking dollars.
Yeah, it's expensive. It's crazy how much those are. They took some company, and their job is basically they'll pick up all the bourbon barrels from the distilleries, and they'll resell them to the Indian factory in India. They'll send them to someplace in France for wine,
and on top of that, not only will they do that, they'll take the barrels and shred it down and wood chip them for smokers and stuff like that. A million and one things that, like, you want to talk about an industry that cares about the environment and recycles, the whiskey industry, and that's why I support them. That is delicious and gets me fucked up.
They're trying to keep the alcohol out of the hands of minors.
It was really fascinating. The stuff with the barrels in the 60s. It's like a 10-minute. I'll send it to you guys, but really fascinating, really cool. And Bardstown was the bourbon distillery that they focused on. Nice. And they had, I was telling you before, they have made one they made the bourbon and they finished it in Indian whiskey barrels, which is like, the guy's like, wait, so you're telling me that the barrels that you use, they're brand new. He's like, they got sent to India. They made Indian whiskey. He's like, and now you're finishing the whiskey you're making brand new in the same barrels that you sold to India. And the guy's like, yeah. And he's like, wow, like it's fascinating. And then they also have one that they made barrels from the exact same lot of trees that they rebuilt Notre Dame from. So they call it I think it's like Cathedral French Oak.
It's a fucking gimmick.
Such a gimmick. It's actually not that expensive.
Fine, but like, and listen, sad news for Buffalo Trace. They were absolutely underwater.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Shout out to them, and hopefully, they get back on track and stuff like that. However,
grounds too.
If you don't know what's coming down the line, it 100%. If any of those Blanton's barrels were in the water, don't think you're not getting a Blanton's release in about 4 or 5 years. Like, hey, water damaged barrels or something like that they're going to sell for $400 fucking dollars, and it's literally just Blanton's that kiss the water minutely, like they did it with E.H. Taylor. E.H. Taylor was like, oh yeah, one of our factories fucking got knocked over by a really bad hurricane, so the barrels that we were able to save are the hurricane barrels and stuff like that. Shit's like $900 a bottle.
Yeah,
It's the same whiskey. It's the exact same whiskey.
I was actually going to wait
the
till
temperature that changed the flavor,
which is fine, but that's for the one day that it happens. If you can tell, good for you. I
was actually going to wait till like this is all cleared and like everything's okay to make that joke because I was going to be like, I can't wait for the flood edition of Blanton.
It's happening. No, listen, nobody died in Buffalo Trace in the flood, so it's not a horrible thing. They have insurance. The business will be fine. The only people that are going to suffer is us when Blanton's now is finally coming back down under $100. It'll shoot back up. So the taters will be upset.
Wait, do you think that they did this flood on purpose in an effort to drive the prices back up?
If you're asking me if somebody at Buffalo Trace has a direct line to God, I'd probably say there's a chance. If you've never tasted George T. Stagg, I mean, that's about as godly as a whiskey can get.
The thing is, can the it's not like a river in Kentucky. It was the Ohio River. Like, is the Ohio River like disgusting though? Like,
in a flood, all rivers are disgusting because all it's doing is washing everything that's on the ground into everything.
So I'm saying like those bourbon barrels may just be ruined. Like, you're not going to want to drink that.
Well, they're sealed. They're
you don't think if they're sitting in the water?
No, I'm sure some of them may have
seeped in,
but I would say no. You gotta no. It's not even that. If the alcohol isn't expanding out through the seams and stuff like that, because how whiskey works is essentially the temperature change drives the whiskey into the wood and out of the wood.
Yeah,
heat and cold. Heat expands, cold retracts.
That was my question. I'm saying like from the outside though, like. The water may
I'm sure it might get waterlogged or something like that. Yeah. I guarantee you it's something dependent on. But you got to remember too, the rick houses, like that maybe 2 levels got hit and then the other 30 are fine.
I'm sure of that too. I'm saying like
so some shit's going to get lost and stuff, but anything that they could possibly save, they will.
Bear in mind that the water being in the bottom level will also change the temperature and humidity in the rest of the warehouse. So even if the water doesn't touch the barrel, it's already changed and affected the flavors that are inside.
Correct.
Just like Jefferson's sends all their fucking barrels on this ocean trip. And that's
just because they
make it worse.
Normally a barrel has to be spun in the rick house and it's spun every once in a while because a 53-gallon barrel of whiskey weighs a fuck ton. So I think that's a
technical measurement.
I was going to say, it may not be metric, but it's what we use.
1 imperial fuck ton.
So when you put it on a boat and it's rocking back and forth naturally with the waves, now it's interacting with the wood differently, and that's the whole point behind it.
Too bad Jefferson's Ocean sucks.
I was going to say, it does suck. You know what doesn't suck? This bad boy right here. Jack Daniels 12-year.
I should have drank my fucking Sinatra.
Ooh. Go run and get it. We got time. Oh, he's doing it. So now I can drone on and on about all the flavors I get out of this. But you know what? I won't even bother. Listen, this bottle, highly allocated, not easy to come by. It's about $100 MSRP. I definitely paid more than that. I'm all in at about $200 on this bottle, which isn't terrible considering our market and how everything is marked up around the New York City area.
Oh, it's hard.
I've seen it going online right now is between $270 and $300 if you can find it online in someplace that'll ship it to you. And I don't say this lightly. I will spend another $200 on another bottle and not feel like I'm getting ripped off. I don't care that this is only $100 MSRP. This is one of the best 12-year whiskeys I've ever had. It is so good. It reminds me of a more aged whiskey. It definitely has like that top tier quality. And we've gone to, American whiskey and a bunch of different bars, and we've tasted, expensive whiskey, stuff that, the guys that drone on and on online, not about sports and their horrible fucking takes and stuff like that. Guys that literally make a living by tasting whiskey and telling you what you should expect out of it. Those whiskeys that these guys hold in high reverence. This is one of those bottles that is right up there with them. It is so good, man. The oak on it, it just has a refined flavor to it. It's hard to describe other than if you've ever tasted a George C. Stagg or a William LaRue Weller or something that's like highly allocated, very expensive. You're never going to try it, unicorn bottle. This is definitely up there on that unicorn tier. It is, dude, the oak on it is amazing. The sweetness comes in, and it's one of those whiskeys that like, it's a crazy long finish. Like Dude, you can take a sip of this and for 10 minutes just keep coming up with different things that you're like experiencing on like the front palate, the mid palate, and the back. It just changes. It's ridiculous.
It's a Tennessee whiskey for 12 years, or is it bourbon for 12 years?
Tennessee whiskey, but Jack Daniels is bourbon. It meets all the qualifications of bourbon. The only difference is they use charcoal to filter it.
Right.
I thought they also used old barrels.
Yeah.
No. They don't. They use new oak barrels. Jack Daniels does. Other Tennessee whiskeys might use, but Jack Daniels 110% meets every qualification of being bourbon, other than the fact that it's charcoal filtered, which doesn't mean anything. It doesn't change the definition of bourbon. Jack Daniels coins the phrase of, we're a Tennessee whiskey because they're the Tennessee whiskey.
Wait,
so why wouldn't you roll with it?
Who owns Jack Daniels?
Brown Forman.
That's right. Brown.
So Old Forester, yeah.
But Old Forester did say they said their barrels that are used bourbon for the Tennessee whiskey. I think
they might finish it in different whiskeys and stuff like that. But no. Like this is 100% in a new charred oak barrel, and it's just.
But maybe they use
107 proof.
Regular
Jack Daniels.
Bourbon barrels or
so
not?
Jack Daniels is 100% can be marketed as bourbon according to U.S. law. They choose not to.
Oh,
right, because it's their gift. Well, they say we're the Tennessee whiskey, so why wouldn't they? Because no one can sit there and be like, we're the Kentucky whiskey. It's like, you and fucking 400 other companies. Like
400, yeah.
Well,
you know what I mean?
We met 4 distilleries that were the oldest distilleries in America.
I could not figure that shit out for the life of me.
I'll tell you why.
They were all like, we're the oldest one in America.
I'll tell you why, because they have different qualifications. They will literally say, we're the oldest running distillery that never closed. We're the oldest, and they'll be like, we're the old. It's like, oh, no, well, our foundation that's here, our whiskey distillery is built on a foundation that was here in the fucking 1600s. It's like, yeah, good for you. Like, that doesn't make you the oldest.
Woodford Reserve pulled that shit. We're like, this is the oldest running distillery in the United States. And like the building was built in like 1810 or something like that. I'm like, yeah, but it was built as like a warehouse for the fucking army and fucking in the Louisiana Purchase, motherfucker. Like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, because Buffalo Trace right now on their water, they there was every report that says like the longest running distillery in the U.S. is now underwater, and I'm like, wait, but I hope Old Forester
because the distillery changed hands 12 times before it finally got to Buffalo Trace.
Well, that's
changed location too, right? They're like, we were down the block over there, now we're here in this building.
I believe Old Forester is the longest running bottler.
Yes,
in the country,
because they went through probation. Because
they went through prohibition as medicinal. They were like one of like 4 companies that got medicinal.
Yes.
Authorization.
I believe so did Jack Daniels, right?
I think I don't want to say because I'm not entirely sure.
Oh, I hope so, because when I told my wife I didn't see Dr. Daniels, it makes me feel better.
Well, listen, Dr. Daniels' prescription is for you guys to try this 12-year because it is so good, dude. The finish definitely has that Jack Daniels fucking finish, like with the that nice apple, but with the oak, it's like a spiced apple. It's like an apple brown Betty, like that cinnamon sugar and just crisp baked apple. It has that flavor on the end.
Apple brown Peggy.
Betty, not Peggy. Yeah, that got everybody sick, including Charlie Daniels and Brooks and Dunn. And
Kicks me down.
Kicks me down. He did. It's a great episode. Charlie Daniels is like, you want a beer, friend? It's $7.
Killed Randy Travis.
But anyway, dude, but honestly, this I get nice note of cherry on this, like cherry cordial, which I don't get on Jack Daniels pretty much ever. So this honestly might be I managed to get a Russell's 15, which is probably the whiskey of the year for me, as far as hunting one down and getting one. But the Russell's 15 costs significantly more than I paid for this. And this is going to be a yearly release of the 12-year. Like Russell's 15, they don't know. It might be a one-off thing, or like Jack Daniel's 14 is going to be a yearly thing. This year's the first year it came out. Impossible to get a hold of. I've tried. 10 and 12, this is the second year they're doing it. This one is batch 2. I believe they're up to batch 3 and 4 already for the 10 and 12 year. So it's going to be a yearly release, which means hopefully the price starts coming down. You can get it at that MSRP. But for $100 bottle of whiskey, like somebody that likes whiskey, you get them this, you're going to blow their minds. It's tremendous.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. I want to try it.
Well, come over and hang out, you son of a bitch.
No, I gotta find time. I wanted to do a Masters thing, but we have birthday parties and Passover this weekend. So
I know. Passover's really fucking up the Department of Sanitation right now.
I'm waiting for Nick. I set it up. I'm surprised he didn't take the bait.
I'm a changed man since going to Japan.
I mean, he's got his hat on. He's ready to break down the Sinatra Select. And honestly, I'm excited because I want to hear what this thing tastes like because at that price point, I believe it's what 175 or 150 MSRP.
Exchange. So
he's actually done this before, but you weren't here.
Okay, fair enough.
I got this probably like $10 cheaper than whatever the MSRP is, and then
it's a very expensive bottle.
And then I didn't pay tax on it either.
Beautiful,
nice.
I will tell you off the bat, the packaging is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. You open up the box, right? It comes with a freaking book, like a hardcover book, and every drunk's favorite. It's got pictures. So you don't got to read too much. Like,
I was waiting for you to go with something else.
What's that?
I was waiting you to be like every drunk's favorite. It's got naked ladies inside. It's like, oh shit! And naked ladies. My wife's standing here staring at me now.
And then on top of that, on top of all of that, this cork, this topper, right? The cork is real cork, right? And this is like ceramic. This is whatever this is made out of. This is not metal. And this is not plastic. It's too heavy to be plastic. And it's like a resin or something. The top of it, it's got Sinatra's fedora on. I had to throw the fedora on because I'm drinking Frank's.
I noticed. I gave the hat a shout out. I acknowledged it.
Sinatra Select.
What does it taste like, Nick? I'm excited. You got me on like waiting on the edge of my seat.
It's bold on the nose.
Ooh. My wife's making fun of me now.
She's like, you're oohing at men.
Pretty much. She told me I'm gay, apparently. She's like, that's what you're on the edge of your seat for?
It's sour. It's sour
like,
on the chew. It's very sour around the edges. You're getting it full on the edges, but it doesn't burn. There's no burn to it.
If she heard what he just said after...
I know. No, she can't hear.
That's it.
Good night, buddy.
It doesn't have a bad... It doesn't give you a Kentucky hug.
Sour on the edges.
Well, it would be a Tennessee hug.
Yeah, it would. But it doesn't give you any of that. But it's very bold flavors. Like
that.
It's got like
spiciness to it.
A little spice, but sour. Like
okay.
Talk about sour mash. That's
sour. Nice.
All right.
Sounds good.
Sour mash.
That's the one reason I honestly stay away from the Sinatra Select because for $150, like we're closing in on what I paid for this fucking bottle, and it's 12 years old.
But it is also very smooth. Like it doesn't burn you going down. You could probably sit here and drink this for a bit and still have the flavors and be like
what's the proof on it?
90.
Okay. All right.
I could probably sit down. I should have probably grabbed a piece of chocolate upstairs. And it would have evened it out. I still have the marshmallow chocolates from
Old
Forest. I have one left. I still have the unopened bottle of the Woodford Toasted because Chris McCormick was unable to make it to your bachelor party. And I said, I'm bringing some Kentucky back with me. I said, I won't crack this bottle of Toasted, which I'm staring at like it's a special release. Staring at it every freaking day in my closet. It's only 375 milliliter, and I could probably flip it for about $400 online right now because it's one of those things you can only get at the distillery at the time that they made it and bottled it, and that's it. And then they move on to the next thing. And I have one piece of chocolate left from Old Forester, and that was my taste of Kentucky for Chris, and he hasn't been over. And you know how much I stare at that stupid friggin' bag of chocolates from Old Forester? Like I want to eat this so bad. And then I'm going to go online and order about 10 bags of it. It's like $14 a bag.
So my question is next year, are you road tripping back down to Kentucky?
Jesus. I would love to go back to Kentucky.
I'm going to Japan again next year, I think. As long as
my wife is now definitely staring at me. I felt her. I didn't even look up, and I felt her looking at me.
If I don't have a kid by next year, probably going back to Japan.
Wow. Breaking news. Breaking news. If Nick doesn't have a kid, we're going back. Well, he's going back to Japan. We may go to Kentucky. And apparently they have pulled the goalie, folks.
I think we can go to Kentucky either way. But if I go to Japan, I got to bring Meredith with me. So
I totally
a brand new baby. That's tough.
I missed the pull the goalie. I was like, oh, the Rangers are up 5-1, but like second period. What do they do?
We'll get into the Rangers next week. We ran out of time with the Masters. We'll get into the downtrodden Rangers next week. We even have a special guest to bring on.
They're not making the playoffs. They're not.
Thank God.
It's a disaster. I mean, they lost. They're winning tonight. Obviously,
who cares?
The Islanders
Too little, too late.
Are worse than us, but you can't lose a game 8-5 against the Flyers when you're up at one point. You can't lose to Tampa and have a no-show basically for your team, 5-0 loss at home. It's been a pathetic drudgery of games the past month.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You want to make a playoff push, and you can't win. You can't beat a single playoff team. They've won games, but they've won games against teams that are very bad, worse than them.
Listen, I'm happy they're not making the playoffs because they were going to be a first-round exit. Dolan was raising the ticket prices. Nobody's getting past fucking Florida at this point.
No.
It is what it is. The Rangers had no shot.
But it's sad because, Nico says all the time, half the league makes the playoffs. How can you not be good enough to make the playoffs?
They should be embarrassed, though. They deserve to be embarrassed. Let's call it what it is. Laviolette should be fucking shot out of a cannon to somewhere else.
Dude,
get rid of him.
They went from being the President Cup winner, 2 games from a Stanley Cup appearance, to not making the playoffs and being an embarrassment of a franchise. I know we weren't going to get into it, but it's just
we'll dive deeper in.
What is the point? My whole reason for buying an 85-inch TV and switching from Optimum to DirecTV. Optimum does suck anyway, but because I couldn't watch the Rangers, and this is what I switched over to watch. It's unbelievable. It's so upsetting. I was looking forward to playoff hockey in the summer. I bought my projector so we could watch in the back. And we're not gonna have it. I'm gonna have people over in the back, but it's gonna be for Yankee games, like regular season Yankee games. It's extremely sad. And so upset.
My wife suggested we end on a good note. And I'm all about that. So shout out to Alexander Ovechkin.
Oh, yeah.
Gretzky's record, baby. They're trying to make it weird and politicized and stuff like that. And they're trying to be like, oh, look at it. He's taking pictures with Putin and stuff like that. Well, he's from Russia. He's allowed to be happy and a national guy. He's pro-Russia. Whatever's going on in the, landscape of politics, geopolitics, or whatever worldwide has nothing to do with the fact that he's from Russia. That's his home. He loves it there. He's a pro-Russia guy. Of course he's going to take pictures with the Russian president and they're going to celebrate it and all that stuff. He just broke a pretty much unbreakable record. Let's call it what it is.
Even if you didn't like him, right? Let's be honest. If you don't like him, but you live there and your family lives there, and he invites you to the presidential palace, whatever they call it in Russia, and you're like, no, I don't like you. It's Russia. Does that go well for your family?
Oh, no, they're gone.
But by the way, I'm going to continue with this good moment for Ovechkin, but just before we go, and I'm that guy, I know it. I'm the Nick Reaper. Rest in peace. Octavio Dotel passed away this week in a terrible roof collapse in the Dominican Republic, but sorry for him and his family. But Ovechkin, one thing I did take into consideration when Gretzky celebrated with Ovechkin, somebody brought up what Gretzky's father said to Gretzky when Gretzky brought it up. He's like, they were like, well, are you happy that he broke your record? And he goes, Walter Gretzky, Wayne's father, great man, said to me when I broke Gordie Howe's record, treat this record with the amount of respect that you hope the person who breaks your record would.
Yeah.
And wow, that's such a a profound thought. Treat this with the amount of respect the guy's record you just broke the man's record. Show that amount of courtesy and respect to him that you hope the kid that breaks your record will show you. And that is sportsmanship 101.
That's like everybody acts like, oh, the Greeks, and they were great philosophers and stuff like that. It's like we have fucking modern day philosophers. That right there is better than anything fucking Socrates came up with, or Socrates, if you will.
Socrates?
Socrates. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Socrates.
I haven't seen that shit in forever.
Fucking movie's great.
That's better than Plato's fucking caves.
But anyway,
the allegory of the caves,
dude. Like, imagine being in that moment with your son, and you have this epiphany, like this profound, and you were able to say that to son. You know what I mean? I'd be sitting there like, but again, like he's philosophizing on at that moment where, like, I'd be like, yeah, my son's the fucking best. Fuck you, you suck. Like, that's why I'm me, and I'm not Wayne Gretzky's dad.
You're not Walter Gretzky.
I'm not Walter Gretzky.
I gotta watch the documentary that Kevin Smith was watching. I have to watch it just to see if I start crying too.
You gotta get high first.
I might. No, I don't. I really don't. Trust me, I'm emotional.
But that's the only way you can do it. Kevin Smith's stories, and which is crazy. Kevin Smith is fucking sober, or at least right now he is. He's not smoking weed at all.
Good for him. Well,
the two great stories of Kevin Smith.
He wasn't smoking weed for the long. He was like 42 years old,
dude. Literally, but the most profound stories.
Seth Rogen's the one that got him high.
I'm just saying, the most profound stories of Kevin Smith comes from him smoking pot and either A, taking an hour-long ropey shit that he doesn't understand, is like ropey. He just it's ropey. Turns around, there's only one nugget.
It's ropey.
And then he cries himself crazy, and his wife's questioning whether they should go out or not because he can't handle anything. Because he's like, he's the greatest player in the world, and his own father doesn't know what he did.
It's ropey.
Dude, shout out to Kevin Smith. I did send you guys that text message like we should go watch Dogma with Kevin Smith in his Smodcastle Cinemas coming up.
I'll watch that. I love Dogma.
I believe it's in June.
And I'm not going to say I can't watch it in June. I'm fucked. I'm out of town.
Oh, no.
But, Rook, what are you drinking? I don't think you ever said what you were drinking.
Yeah.
No, we did. Bardstown.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I didn't know what it was.
We went on a Tennessee tangent, if you will.
Tennessee tangent. Dude, I'm still trying to figure out what this lid is.
Alliteration be damned.
I'm just trying to figure out what this lid is. Because this is not metal. I mean, if it's metal, it's solid metal. And it damn sure ain't plastic. It's got to be like some sort of ceramic.
Nick, listen, you don't have to keep waving around your butt plug. We get it. Okay? Wash that thing and your microphone.
Like, this is wood.
I guess that's all. I guess that's it.
This is wood too.
Now we're up to caps. We're up to bottle caps.
This shit is fucking severe. I don't know what it is, but it's something.
Don't make me bust out my Frey Ranch.
Just so everybody knows, the whole show up until we did Whiskey of the Week, I was drinking Woodford Reserve Kentucky Derby 150.
Nice. Oh, I had a question, Nick. You went to the Youngstown Giants game. What did you eat when you were there?
Chicken skin.
What is that?
So this thing right here, right? What do you think this was filled with?
I thought it was full of ice cream, but apparently not.
It was filled with fried chicken skin.
What's chicken skin? Like just the skin of the chicken?
Like the skin of a chicken fried.
On a deep fryer, crisped up.
Sauce. So it wasn't exactly like crispy.
Think of pork cracklings, but chicken skin instead.
But it wasn't deep fried, so it wasn't crispy. It was.
Oh, really?
Because it was soaked in something. It was soaked in
something. Okay.
Did they serve sushi?
I didn't see any because I was in the section with all the hardcore fans. There was very little food there because you're expected to stand. We got ice cream, and ice cream in Japan is dope because they make basically they take a waffle cone and they make an empanada out of it.
Really?
So nice. Like you bite into a waffle and it's got ice cream inside. So you don't have to worry about like no mess, no chalk on the bark.
I would have went looking at every food place they had there. Like I would have walked around the stadium. And
I was so engrossed, and then on top of that, I was sitting next to two British people. You know what the best thing about going to a baseball game in Japan is? You know how we have fat guys walking around going, "Be here, be here." Yeah, that's a shout out to those losers in Tampa Bay. Whoever that fucking guy is, fire his ass. He's the most annoying human being on the planet Earth. I've never met somebody who carries beer that I hate more than that fucking loser that goes, "Bear, bear." I can hear him on the fucking broadcast. That's how annoying he is. And what's worse,
that guy's there. He has nothing else to live for. Leave the man alone. He's known as the beer here guy.
He does the Yankee spring training games. I can hear his ass there too, because that's actually in Tampa.
Oh, yeah.
All that being said, in Japan, they don't have fat guys delivering beer in cans and bottles up and down the aisles. They've got cute girls in short shorts and like skirts with a keg on their back, fucking putting beer in cups and then giving you a fresh beer straight out of the keg.
Wow.
So they've got like quarter kegs on their backs, and they're in short shorts with skirts and like the Giants gear and a baseball cap. And they're like, okay, what do you want?
I like how he purposely said the Giants gear is like right here.
I mean, it is. I have a Giants. I got a Masahiro Tanaka jersey while I was there because he plays for the Giants now.
So, if I can ask you, what was your favorite Japanese beer? Because I have two favorites. I'm a Kirin Ichiban guy, and I'm also a big Sapporo guy. So, did you experience any beer that was like, all right, this is my Japanese beer?
I had 4 beers while I was there. Kirin Ichiban, Sapporo, Ebisu, and Asahi.
Asahi's good as well.
Asahi was my least favorite.
You like it?
I think I didn't say I didn't like it.
More hoppy, right?
It was my least favorite. It's super dry. My favorite's probably Sapporo.
Yeah, I'm a Sapporo guy as well.
And then I had multiple whiskeys when I was there. I had Hibiki.
Nice.
I had Suntory. Suntory also makes my favorite lemon squash.
Isn't Suntory owned by Buffalo Trace?
That's a great question.
Or Jim Beam?
That's a great question. I don't know.
Suntory's owned by an American company.
I'll tell you right now, Suntory makes my favorite lemon squash.
Well, Nick's looking. And Rook's looking at something.
No, it's not owned by anybody.
Really? I thought Suntory was be wrong.
So Suntory makes my favorite lemon squash. Lemon squash is like lemonade soda. So it's not like Sprite. It actually tastes like carbonated lemonade. And Suntory makes the best.
So like San Pellegrino? Like the lemon San Pellegrino?
No, because that's like seltzer. Pellegrino's like seltzer.
Yeah.
No, Suntory, if you look at it, it looks like lemonade, but it's carbonated.
Okay.
And they make the best lemon squash in the world. The problem is they also make an alcoholic lemon squash. So if you go into a store or go to a vending machine and go grab a Suntory, I almost fucked up twice at like 7 a.m. and grabbed the wrong.
How is that fucking up? That's the greatest gift ever.
I was going to Universal to go ride fucking crazy rides.
And you don't want to get a load on? What are you,
no,
crazy?
I don't want to feel like throwing up on people as I fly over them in Jurassic Kingdom.
I believe that's what they call an interactive ride. What are we doing here? Especially if you stand if you're in the front and you get on, and you look at everybody as you sit down about to put the belt on, like
but
here we
yeah,
go.
Lemon squash. If you ever come across lemon squash in your life, apparently it's a British thing. Lemon squash is amazing.
Let me ask you something. What's your favorite Kit Kat flavor that you tried over there? Tell me you tried one of the flavored Kit Kats.
Sugar, butter, sand Kit Kat.
Okay.
What?
Sugar, butter, sand. You know what, guys? You know what crumble is?
Yeah.
So they have a thing over there called sugar, butter, sand.
Okay.
And they make they make like crackers. It almost looks like a s'more, kind of.
Oh, it's not like you said sand. Like,
Not actually sand. No, they're
sugar, butter, sand. I didn't eat at the actual place because I was like, I don't need to eat sand. That's crazy. But they make Kit Kats. I got them in the airport on the way home, and I was like, "Fuck! Why didn't I get more shit when I was there?"
Dude, I order Japanese Kit Kats all the time. Like anytime I can find them online.
If you ever get the chance, look up sugar, butter, sand.
I will. I'm a big fan of the green tea or matcha Kit Kats.
There's a picture of me floating out. You guys will get it because we haven't sent out our thank you cards for the wedding yet because we wanted to go on our honeymoon. so that we could add a picture of our honeymoon, so anybody that gave us money would know where the money went.
Centauri.
And one of the pictures we're going to add is us in kimonos because we did a ceremonial tea event.
Like in Karate Kid 2?
More ceremonial than that.
Was Peter Cetera there? It's a pretty fucking awesome ceremony then. I am the man who will fight for you.
So that was dope. So like a man's kimono is not nearly as stringent as a woman's kimono, and there's pockets inside your fucking sleeve. So if you want to hide a blade up there, you can just like reach into your sleeve and be like, ha, stab, peace.
Nice.
So like I have a kimono on, which really ultimately just looks like you have like a big fucking robe on. And then Meredith has a kimono on and it has the whole big, like, apparently in Japan, if you're fat, that's better. I ran into multiple sumo and did not take a picture with them. I was very upset.
That's terrible.
Yeah, the first time I was like, "You idiot! You just go up to them respectfully."
Yes, they love it. They
show them the courtcy and respect that they deserve because sumo is a nobility.
They are celebrities
class.
There. They are yes.
It's a nobility class. It's not like it's like going to a samurai.
It's a respect. It's a very highly respected thing because people don't understand that sumo is a way of life, not just a wrestling. Like these dudes live in essentially a convent almost of fat dudes that do nothing but eat 10,000 calories and then work out all fucking day.
So I'm walking back to my hotel and we're passing by not Ebisu, next to Ebisu. Ebisu is a restaurant and a brewery. It's the oldest brewery in Japan is Ebisu. It's spelled Yebisu, but it's pronounced Ebisu. Because I asked somebody for Yebisu and they were like, "What the fuck is that?" And then I heard them say it, and I was like, "Oh, it's the Y is silent, like Django." Right on.
Hell yeah!
And
fair.
I see some sumo, but they're eating, and I won't bother them. But in retrospect, I should have walked up to them and like just bowed and said, "Come inside." Like, I just want to meet you. Whatever. I would have looked up how to say it in Japanese first, and then I would have asked, "Can I get a picture?" There was like 4 of them, and I'm like, "Fuck, man!" Opportunity.
Get any pictures with geishas?
No, I didn't see any.
Oh, come on!
I went to the Ninja and Samurai Museum.
Nice.
And they actually had the Honda family's samurai armor from the Edo period.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Sumos would have been cool if you took a picture with the sumo guys. That's
what I'm saying. There was 4 of them chilling at the bar, drinking beers and shit.
I would have bought them around.
Well, they weren't at the bar. They were at a bar that had outdoor seating, and I was passing by, and I was like, "Oh shit, sumos!"
I would have still bought them around. That doesn't change my answer.
You know what though? Like again, dude, they're large people, and like
you don't realize how they're literally just
from far away.
The tanks, dude, they're jacked.
Yeah, and then on top
you don't realize it's like that gut is for moving weight, but they work out all the time. They're fast. They're athletic. It's not just like a get fat and push somebody around.
It would be like running into the New York Rangers or like the New York Yankees at a bar, and you want to say something or do something with them, but at the same time, you're like, I don't want to interrupt what they're doing. I don't want to be that asshole.
I don't want to be that guy.
But at the same time, like in retrospect, if
you would have gotten a pass being a tourist, an American tourist, they would have been like, "Fuck yeah, dude."
Yeah, I ran into like I'm at the hat store and I run into another one, but he's with his girlfriend. So I'm like, I'm definitely not gonna fucking. He was by himself with his girlfriend, but he was just you could tell he was wearing something similar to this.
Well,
and
so that's the other thing
on, and I was like, he's a sumo, and he had obviously his haircut was he had a sumo haircut.
I watched not a documentary, like pretty much like a YouTube influencer went to Japan and did a whole thing where he like stayed at they invited him to stay with them and work out with them and stuff like that. So he did a whole thing for a couple days with them. And apparently
that's very honorable, like
100%. And and it's more for like the educational purposes of like, no, you can come work out with us and do our routines and stuff like that. And they were like wiped halfway through the day. And it's like, now it's lunch. And then we do that for 4 more fucking hours after you eat.
Yeah.
But apparently like the one thing they honed in on is like, yo, dude, sumo wrestlers rake in the bitches. Like
the dude's girlfriend was really small.
Dude, apparently it's like moths to a flame. They just walk around and just rake. It's amazing. Imagine being like, hey, you could be fat and work out and drink a lot of beer, and then you get mad bitches. It's like, fuck yeah, I'm in. Not even for the bitches part, just because I want to be fat and not have to worry about it. Let me just be fat and alone. Pushing people around. Is that not the dream?
I did enjoy Hibiki. Suntory was very good too, but again, Suntory makes my favorite lemon squash. And you can't get it in the States. It sucks. I looked it up. Like I was trying to get some stuff shipped to me. It was like $300. I was like, it's not worth it. Maybe when the tariffs even out, when people come to the table and start having real negotiations about who's going to tariff who, I can get some lemon squash at a reasonable price from Suntory. Or maybe they can start selling it in the United States. I'll drink that shit all day long. If you want to figure out what lemon squash tastes like, take like half lemonade and mix it with half Sprite. And that's pretty much what lemon squash tastes like.
Nice.
Interesting.
I like it.
And
Sounds
you
good.
throw some fucking whiskey, throw some liquor in there, and that's the alcoholic version of lemon squash.
It's called a Tennessee lemonade. Lynchburg lemonade, sorry.
But I think that's all we got. We've been running way late. We had a lot to catch up on. We'll catch you again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And you'll see some videos from me and my wife with our trip to Japan.
I can't wait to watch that.
Yeah, it should be. There'll be Universal in there. There'll be Disney in there. You'll see some Osaka, Kyoto. You'll see a lot of shrines. You'll see Hakone. You will not see Fuji. Excuse me. You will not see Mount Fuji because when we went there, we got hit by a cold snap in the area. It snowed. It rained. The snow and rain fell into the volcano in the area. It created a fog like no other in the entire region. That lasted until we got to Tokyo. Like the last 2 days last day that we were in Tokyo was the only clear day in Tokyo. Every other day was foggy.
That's
but you'll see all that stuff in little shorts that comes out. Thanks for hanging with us, and we'll catch you again next week.
Peace.